Hello and welcome to Hoppa's Top 5 Real-Life Fairy Tale Castles. Today we're looking at real-world castles which either gave inspiration to or are associated with some of the world's most well-loved fairy tales that we all grew up with. That's right, these aren't works of the imagination, you can actually go visit these places. So grab a hot drink and gather round. Once upon a time there was a castle, and that castle is the beautiful Mont Saint-Michel in France. Disclaimer here, my accent is terrible, don't judge, I'm trying my best. Luckily for me, the castle itself is incredible, and this castle is where Rapunzel, from the Brothers Grimm fairy tale of the same name, was trying to reach and find her family. Mont Saint-Michel is an island commune in Normandy, and although technically an abbey and not a castle, its fortifications were given significant improvement by Charles VI in the 15th century, making it far more impressive than originally intended. A really unique feature about this castle is that the isolated island is completely cut off from the mainland at high tide, but hey, there are worse places to be stranded. Next on our list we're staying in France and visiting the equally impressive Chateux de Chambord. This was the basis for the animated version of Beauty and the Beast, a location which could be ominous and sinister, but could also be transformed to be cheery and grand. The French Renaissance chateau is one of the most recognisable in the world and took 20 years to build, changing constantly as construction went on. Now we're off to Switzerland, and more precisely, the shoreline of Lake Geneva, which bears home to Chillon Castle. This structure sits right on the water's edge, with a private beach. Can you guess which fairy tale character lives in a place half on land, half in water? Those who guessed it, Prince Eric from The Little Mermaid got a point. The earliest parts of the castle date back to 1005 AD, and it was originally used as an outpost during the reign of the Roman Empire. In modern times, it's actually the #1 tourist destination in the whole of Switzerland. Now let's introduce a castle which probably doesn't require an introduction, the Fortress of Segovia in Spain. Whilst this is widely believed to be the influence behind the castle in Snow White, it's of course not her residence, but that of the evil queen. It's also thought to be the inspiration for Cinderella, in a nice 2-for-1. It sits upon a cliff top at the confluence of two rivers, almost looking like a ship breaking through the waters. It was originally built as a fortress, but has been used as a royal palace, a state prison, a royal artillery college and a military academy. Currently, however, it's used as a public museum. Last on our list is probably the most iconic castle in the world, and apologies on the pronunciation again, the fantastic Neuschwanstein Castle in Bavaria, Germany, the area where a lot of these fables actually originated from. This castle was the inspiration behind Sleeping Beauty, and was actually used as inspiration for the iconic castle in Disneyland, California. This palace was entirely funded by the eccentric King Ludwig, which in turn was funded from his extensive taxing of the Bavarian public. The castle took 17 years to build, and the king never actually saw it complete, as he died before it was finished and only spent 11 nights sleeping in the partially built castle before his demise. He never intended for it to be publicly accessible, but thankfully, now it is. So what are you waiting for? You can now go visit the setting of your favourite fairy tale in real life. And of course, live happily ever after.